Hi everyone. I decided to do a video for the discussion for this week. Simply, I'm just very tired of writing. I've been doing the dual program for a long time now, and doing 11 credits this semester is just very tiring. I was really glad though about the podcast that we had to listen on, just working out of chaos and, the good things that and beautiful things that can happen within that. Especially, I noticed, and I was listening to the podcast with my wife, and she said, "Well, they're talking about the piano player." She said he was able to adapt because he was so skilled at what he did. So I think, and I think the host said it well. Like if he had placed me, like I wouldn't have done the same thing with that piano that he did, but he was able to do it because he was skilled. He had prepared to, and then when that happened, when chaos hit, he was able to make something beautiful out of it. And just I feel like for this our the time that we've been studying, we've been learning, we've been preparing for all kinds of scenarios, and just there's a lot to say that we don't think we know, but we do because we have been going through it. And those that have been in the workplace, you've been going through it. Guarantee that if you get put into different scenarios, like you'll be able to make beautiful things out of those things, out of the chaos, because you prepared. Like you know what to do when all things are going right, and if something goes wrong, you know how to adapt. So that was I really enjoy that podcast. And then of course with Father George, I also loved his TED talk. I actually have his book, one of his books. I haven't bought the other one, but this one, Tattoos on the Heart. And he talks on kingship towards the end of the book. And this is following the story of that he's telling about bringing three homeboys to the White House. And so he tells a story of how they go to the White House, and but on their way back, they're on an airplane, and one of the homies goes to the to the bathroom in the back of the plane, and he takes forever, like 45 minutes. And then Father George is like, well, where you been? And so he comes back and he says, I was talking to that lady over there. It was a wait at one of the I forget what they're called. Anyway, it was a lady that works for the airplane. Forgot what that's called right now. Anyways, that's my essay in me as well. But anyways, he says, he says, I made, the flight attendant, I made her cry. And he says, I hope that's all right. And Father George is like, well, that depends on what you said. So this is what happens. Alex says that she saw him, that he was wearing one of the Humble Industry shirts and tattoos, and she started asking questions. He says this, so I gave her the tour of the office. So they're flying, they're 34 feet on the air, and he's telling her like, well, this is where the office is. Like he's giving her like a virtual tour of the office. And he says he introduces her to our job developers, explains our release program, and hands over her goggles to watch tattoos being removed. And I told her, the homie says, I told her that last night we made history with bringing excitement. And then he says, for the first time in history of this country, three gang members walked into the White House. We had dinner there. I told her the food tasted nasty. He pauses and gets still, and then he says, and she cried. I get still myself, Father George writes. He says, well, mijo, what you expect? She caught a glimpse of you. She saw that you're somebody. She recognized you as the shape of God's heart. Sometimes people cry when they see that. Suddenly, kingship, two souls, feeling their worth. Flight attendant, gang member, 34,000 feet in the air, no daylight separating them. Exactly what God had in mind. It's just amazing because even this Homeboys Industries and the ministry that Father Gregory does there. He's out of the chaos. He's brought out something beautiful. Nobody would give 10 cents for any of these people, and he loved them, and he's created something where life happens. I've been there a couple times, even to buy this book. I went there, and we went to have lunch with my wife, with some friends as well, and just what God's doing there. And there's people. I come from South Central, so I've been there, done that, and it's just amazing what someone would focus on the least of these, just like Jesus would, right? And make something beautiful out of it. Also, with the two other articles, the one on ethics, I'm not. I mean, it was good. I'm not sure how that would help me. I'm not in those kind of decisions makings, but I feel like even in ministry, what I do, like I have to make sure that that I am always on guard to make sure that I make the right choices, and sometimes even in ministry that may be hard to do the right thing, to finish well. And then the other article, I believe, let me see, I believe that one spoke about resolving conflict. That's the one that this week I've been actually, this just Saturday and even today, just had this conflict with times being scheduled for the same room, and how our ministry was pretty much bumped out because they had something else had to be done there, and it was just disregarded. And I'm just just yesterday I was really upset because, like, why would they do this to us? And then maybe just reading from the articles, like maybe it wasn't done on purpose. I have to hear what the other side says. It just I think that I'm gonna put that to use tomorrow and see how that goes. I'm just gonna wait and see how that gets resolved. But yeah, this happens all the time. You're always gonna be bumping heads with people. Sometimes not intentionally. Sometimes it's just things just happen and things just get done, and they get in your way, and you just gotta figure out how to work together. And some other times, parameters are even limits have to be set so that, and things have to be placed so that those things don't happen again. So, anyways, I hope you enjoy this, and I hope it's not too long. You can actually fast forward this. I should have told you this at the beginning, but you can fast forward this video so that you can get the gist of it and respond. God bless you guys. Thank you.